So you want to start collecting trading cards or Pokemon cards in 2022 or early 2023. If this is you, you want to start collecting a beginner, this video is for you. So stay tuned and I will teach you some things that I have learned over my 4 years of collecting cards. These slides will be broken down into 4 different parts. Questions for you to answer to figure out if collecting is good for you or what you want to collect. Supplies you'll need before you can start collecting. What and where to buy, and the do's and don'ts that I have learned for collecting. Questions for you to answer. First off, why are you collecting cards? Is there a reason? 1, you're young and you just think cards are cool. That's good enough reason too. Second, you want to make money. A lot of people in the hobby think this is not a good reason. I think this is an okay reason. I think if this is your only reason for collecting cards, it probably isn't a great idea. It's not the best side hustle and there's not too much money to make now. 2 years ago, probably you'll be making a lot of money. Now you have to be very skilled to start making money, and you probably should have got in 2 years ago. Second, to have fun. If you just want to have fun, it's for you. I think collecting cards is really fun. You can also learn how to play cards, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all the different card games, Card Fight, Vanguard. These are all good card games to play and collect. They're fun. The last one that I think is underrated is your kid, family, or a parent. So if you're a parent, you want to get in collecting because your kid's getting collecting, you're a kid and you want to collect and have a fun time. I think family is a great reason for starting to collect as well. What do you want to collect? This is a big question that I think a lot of people don't realize that they need to answer right away. You can collect individual cards. So these are just cards. You open packs and you collect individual cards. You buy individual cards. This is probably the most common collecting for all trading card games. The next is sealed products. So you buy sealed products and then you don't open them ever. And then you kind of like just collect the sealed products, make them be shelf pieces. This is also a big one. There's a lot of sealed products and we'll go over some of them just so you know. Types of sealed products for mostly Pokemon cards. A lot of these go into other things. There's booster packs, booster boxes, and these two are pretty much everything. Every card game has booster packs and booster boxes. Then we have elite trainer boxes, which is for Pokemon. You see this in the middle. It's elite trainer box. They have like 8 to 10 cards, to 8 to 10 packs. Then we have tins. We have oversized card boxes, which have a jumbo card in the middle. Then there's the figure sets that usually have a pin figure, something like that. There's usually pin figures or figurines. Next, we have battle and theme decks. These are kind of decks for you to play Pokemon, and there's theme decks for other card games as well. Then we have battle stadiums, which are a new thing that I will go over later more in detail, which I think are probably the most underrated things to collect right now because there's a lot of packs to open up and a lot of cards inside. And then we have booster bundles, which is a new thing, which is 6 packs, which is just like a mini booster box for sets. Then we have graded cards. Do you want to start grading cards? Do you want to start collecting graded cards? If that's you, you need to do the others first. I think grading cards is super difficult. It's a skill you need to learn. You need to know quality. You need to open cards. I think if you start off at this point, you're going to lose hundreds of dollars. Grading cards is not cheap. To grade like 10 cards, it's going to cost you $150 at the cheapest, probably more like $200 because of shipping. And if you want to buy trading cards, you probably need to like know a little bit more than this. So we'll have a whole nother video sometime about what to do for grading cards or buying graded cards. But if you're starting off as a beginner, I would avoid graded cards at all costs until you know. I would say like 6 months to a year before you really get into grading cards, because I sent in a submission myself right when I started collecting and they all came back horrible grades because I was like, yo, these things are like PSA 10s, and in reality they were like PSA 7s. Okay, so you have decided what you want to start collecting. So now you need supplies for these cards. So for cards, you are going to need card sleeves. These are these nice little plastic sleeves, very simple. All these supplies will be linked in the description down below. I will not have affiliate links because I think I would just want to try to find you the best deals even though they're not affiliates. Then we have these top loaders. These are hard plastic sleeves that have a top you insert the card in, and then the card is much more protected. These are pretty good on the cheap side, but if you want to have very secure cards, you want to have these semi-rigids. So for top loaders and semi-rigids, you want to put the card in a card sleeve and then you put them in these, and then it's like an extra layer of protection. The top loaders and semi-rigids are more secure and hard, where the top loader is very much just to prevent scratches and edge wear. After you have these, you probably will need a box or a binder to store these cards. Binders are pretty self-explanatory, and boxes are those big white boxes that secure a lot of cards. Next, we are going to go over what should you buy if you're starting to collect and where should you buy it. So you are starting to buy it and you want sealed products. What sealed products should you buy? What sets should you buy from? These first three are sets that will be probably relevant for the next 6 months because they're cheap. We have first Battle Styles, super cheap set, really easy to open. There's plenty of products for Battle Styles that are cheap that you can open. Same with Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign's also cheap. I think this is also a great set. I think Chilling Reign's better than Chilling Reign is better than Battle Styles. And last is good old Fusion Strike. These three sets are not very popular, but they have amazing cards and cool pulls in them still. So getting cards for these sets are still good. They're good sets, just not as good as the other ones that have come out. And here are another three sets that are probably going to be too expensive in the next 6 months. 6 months from now, these are probably going to be over what you should buy them for. First is Astral Radiance. This is one that will probably stay the cheapest for the longest. Then we have Silver Tempest. This is the newest set, will probably be the most expensive the soonest because it's a really popular set already. And the last one is Lost Origin. This one might be like 3 months and then it'll get more expensive. So those are the 6 sets you should be looking for right now. In 6 months, the first 3 sets I talked about are the ones you still probably want to be looking for. If you want to buy individual cards, you don't care about the sets. You're just buying individual cards. Which cards should you collect? Whatever you want. Don't listen to me. You buy whatever card you want. If it's shiny, cool. If you want to hurt it long-term, cool. But whatever card you want, that is what you should buy. Okay, so now you know what sets here. First thing you need to do is you need to just open some packs. And what should you buy to open some packs? Single packs, max you should spend is $4, as low as $3 online for some packs. Elite Trainer boxes, these should be around $40 or $45 in store, and these can be as low as $30 online. They have 8 to 10 packs. And then we have the Build and Battle Stadium, which is $60 per box, but has 12 packs, but can be as low as $40 online. And you can also, they also come with a lot more inside them, like theme decks, more cards, additional cards. So Build and Battle Stadiums, I think, are probably the most underrated things currently in the Pokemon card community. The single packs and booster boxes are kind of for every card set. I recommend not buying a booster box for your first thing because that's like $100 investment. I think one of these cheaper options here is something you should go with first. And also, it's sale time. It is cheap right now. There are so many things on sale on all different websites for Pokemon cards. They are just flying off the shelves. If you want to start collecting right now, it is the time to start collecting. It is cheap, cheap, cheap. Do not pay over MSRP, which pretty much just means the selling point in stores. So if something is selling more than it should sell in stores, then that is too much money. So for booster packs, if it's over $4 or $4.50, probably shouldn't buy it. If it's over $40 or $45, you probably shouldn't buy it. If it's over $60 to Build and Battle Stadium, you probably shouldn't buy it. And if it's over that, yeah, you shouldn't buy it. Online sites that you should look at and that I think are the best online sites, eBay is great. Usually can you find super cheap deals, but eBay kind of needs a skill. Where TCG Player is, I think, the best site for if you don't know what's going on, because this site just lists the cheapest price, and this is a marketplace that gets a whole bunch of different card stores and lists their products there. It's a great site and you should definitely check it out. I'll make an entire video on that someday. It can be a little bit complicated. Online card stores, there are plenty of online card stores that have great deals like TCG Stadium, Poke Coliseum. There's a whole bunch out there. You can just do your research. And then for in-person, if you're going to buy in person, probably Target, Walmart, GameStop, and then probably a local game shop maybe on the local game shop, because sometimes local game shops have their prices super high because they only have limited supply, but other times they have them super low because they just want to sell them. So it's a maybe. It depends on your local game store. Here are the big old do's and don'ts. These will go more in depth. They're like some tips and tricks to start off with. We'll start with some do's. Do's. Make goals. Make tangible goals. So like, I want to collect this entire set by the end of the year. I want to collect this entire set in 6 months. Something where you can look at it in 6 months or like a year, and you can be like, I achieved that, I did not achieve that. You want to make goals for collecting. Second is set a budget. This is the most important do's on this list. It probably should have been the first one I talked about. You need to decide how much money you're going to spend a month. First month, you should spend at most $100. Then the next month, you can maybe raise it to $200, but you should only spend a certain amount of money and never go over. If you go over it, it's a slippery slope and you'll just start spending all your money on Pokemon cards or trading cards. You need to set a budget so you don't go over it. Make sure you're buying from trusted sources. There are sketchy people out there on eBay, TCG Player, Amazon, all these different places that will try to make you pay way more for what you want. And they also will make you pay for stuff that is not out there. So make sure you do your research. You can click on all these sites for the sellers to see how many positive reviews they are. If someone has a lot of positive reviews, then you can go for them. I would say probably like 50 positive reviews if you're starting off, maybe even 100, probably 100 positive reviews from a seller, and no negative reviews is who you should buy from. Start with opening some products. We talked about this. You want to open products first. You don't want to just go buying sealed products and holding them. You want to see if you actually like trading cards in Pokemon. If you don't enjoy opening them and you don't enjoy getting the cards, you probably shouldn't do this because it's not the best side hustle no more. Use the correct sites. We talked about what sites to use. Know if you're planning to sell something later or keep it for the long term. So that means if you're going to buy a product, are you going to open this right now or are you going to keep it sealed for like 5-10 years? You need to know before you buy it because a lot of the times you will switch your mind when you buy it if you don't make up your mind. You need to know what you're doing with it when you buy it. Know what conditions are. This is super important and will make you decide what you spend money on and how much you will spend. We'll go over the conditions briefly. We have conditions of mint, near mint, lightly played, moderately played, heavy played, and damaged. Pretty much these are the conditions. They all kind of make sense. Mint is like perfect card, near mint is near perfect, lightly played, it's got some edge wear, and then so on, so on. I'll have a link down in the description below that goes into more depth in the conditions because I can make a whole video on conditions. Now we'll get into the don'ts, what you should not do. Spend more money than you have. You should only spend extra money. If you spend more than extra money, like money that you need for bills or anything, because you want to make money and you know you can make money with Pokemon cards, don't do that, do something else. Save your money. Only do money if you just have it sitting around in your bank account and it's begging you to spend it. Don't spend money that you need for anything. Start with grading Pokemon cards. Yeah, don't start with grading Pokemon cards. It costs a lot of money, and if you don't know conditions of cards, you don't know cards, you don't know what cards are popular, you could grade a card that's worth $1 at a PSA 10, but you thought it was a cool card, and so you spend it and you lose money. Spend more than retail for sealed. Yeah, retail is pretty much the most you should spend. If it's in Target and Walmart, and that's the top you should buy for anything for those prices. If you look at something online and it's more than what you would find at Target, it is too much money. Use Amazon. Don't use Amazon because I think a lot of the time Amazon is really sketchy. A lot of time you have third-party sellers that go through Amazon and they usually upcharge you in other places. You should definitely compare your prices everywhere. Usually I find Amazon as the sketchiest. The only time I really use Amazon is if I'm trying to find something niche or if they have a sale going on. Don't always get mint. We went over the conditions. You do not always have to get the perfect condition cards. Sometimes you can get lightly played cards and they're good as well. Same with like played, moderately played, damage. Sometimes those cards are good to collect too, as long as you don't really care about the condition. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. If something is usually $150 and it's selling for $20, don't buy it because it's probably a scam. If it's too good to be true, it probably is because people are really smart in this hobby and the scammers are even smarter. Make a purchase without looking up similar items. If you're buying an item somewhere, say like you're buying that example, I'm buying this PSA card that I have right here. It's a PSA 10 in Dene. Oh, I'm buying it. I should look up similar copies to make sure I don't buy it. Also, don't buy PSA cards right away. But that was just an example of something that was right next to me. If you are buying something, make sure to look up similar things to see the prices. The similar card, the same card. Not similar things, the same thing to see if you're overpaying for something. Because you can either probably find it cheaper or the same somewhere else. And if you can find it same or somewhere else, you should probably find it the other place. And then buy individual cards at the release of a new set. This is something people do so much and it's such a regret. A card set will release for any trading card game and the prices will be super high. Do not buy cards the first week of a release of a set, maybe in the first months, because that is going to be the most expensive they are, because there's the fewest out there. You should wait a week or a month and then buy individual cards from a new set. Probably should even wait like a year. But if you want to buy new cards from a new set right away, wait a week or a month so you don't overspend. Well, that is pretty much where I'm going to leave this at. If you want me to make part part 2 or talk about anything else, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. This is a very fun channel for me, but if this helped you, I hope it did. This is just my little tips and tricks video, or how to start collecting complete guide. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye.